Well, good afternoon and welcome to the principal's office. I am Principal Edward Gordon, and I'm so glad you have tuned in for this weekly broadcast where we'll be interviewing educational stakeholders who have made a significant impact for themselves, for others, and with others in education. In the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, written by Dr. John C. Maxwell, he talks about the law of modeling. The law of modeling states it's hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. A good mentor is a worthy example, available, has proven experience, possesses wisdom, provides friendship, provides support, and makes a difference in people's lives. We believe there are many outstanding leaders in this world, and weekly we want to highlight those leaders, leaders that will help us provide models of excellence for others. Today, I am grateful to have another special guest who is making a significant impact in his school community, Principal Nick Edwards. Good afternoon, Nick.
Good afternoon, Principal Gordon. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Very excited.
Thank you for being here. So let's continue with a brief introduction of our guest today. Nicholas Edwards is the principal of Smalley School in Bound Brook, New Jersey. He served children and school communities previously as a substitute teacher, kindergarten teacher, fourth grade teacher, and teacher supporting the needs of at-risk students. During his 16 years in education, he has also positioned himself as an athletic coach who has influenced many through his work as an assistant and head coach at the varsity level for baseball and football. Mr. Edwards oversees and serves on 26 building and district committees that are responsible for school safety, equity, and new teachers, to name a few. He is one of three alumnus to record 100 career hits for the baseball team at St. Peter's Prep. He can be seen on LinkedIn promoting his positive school culture and the success of his students and great staff members. Once again, help me welcome to the show, Mr. Nick Edwards. So,
Thank you
Nick,
so much.
you're welcome. The author Robert McKee states, storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world today. Nick, what is your story?
Well, it just got to start, just growing up in North Arlington. Great parents, Linda and Gary, and a wonderful brother, Gary, who's a police officer in North Arlington as well. So just growing up, going to public school through my elementary life, and then going off to St. Peter's Prep in Jersey City, where I played football and baseball, captain of both of those squads. And then I had a baseball scholarship to St. Peter's College, now St. Peter's University, where I majored in elementary education and minored in American Studies. When I finished college, I went on to be a substitute teacher, and I started my coaching career as well back at the prep for baseball, and then just continued education. Just doing the best that I can to try to help students, and most importantly, to learn from other great administrators, but also teachers. And then I decided when I became head football coach at Kearney High School, I decided that I wanted to pursue my career in my master's degree with administrative and supervision, where during my days at coaching, after I was finished with practice in the weight room, I would drive off to St. Peter's College and then do my master's career there at night. So the money that I could make in the weight room, I put it towards my master's degree, and just trying to pursue that. It took me a couple years on and off because of coaching and so forth. And then finishing off my coaching career at Queen of Peace High School, which is no longer there, unfortunately, uh, I decided that I wanted to really become an administrator. And the journey from there has been just incredible. We'll probably get into it about how I became an administrator, but that's where I'm at now. I'm a principal now, and so blessed to and humbled to be the leader of Smalley School.
Very good. Thank you for sharing with the audience your journey. So, as I think about your time as a coach and making this transition in terms of educational leadership, what are some skills you learned as being a coach that has helped you to make this transition as a school leader?
I was blessed with many great coaches in my career. Starting off with my father when I was younger. And then going into high school, Rich Hansen, who's a football guru and legend at St. Peter's Prep, and Joe Urbanovich, baseball, and just other coaches that I played in the summer with, just helping me. But the most important thing is just, hard work, work ethic, the drive to be great, the drive to, wanting to be pushed to be great, and just picking out different skills, such as, what does it take to be great? Waking up early, going to the weight room. Say you had a bad day in a baseball game, pulling my father aside and say, hey, 0 for 3 today, this can't happen, so let's go to the park. Just wanting to be the best person I can, and just trying to be the best person I can for my teammates. And no matter what, where all of my recognition comes from, and all the awards that I received, if it wasn't for great coaches and great teammates, none of that would happen.
Very good, very good. So I have a question for you. What gets you excited every day?
I think the excitement is just the competition with myself. What is the day going to be? What is it going to bring? Is it going to be an upset parent at something? Is there going to be some emergency that's happening before I even get to school? Uh, every day is different. There's no planned day as a principal, and you have to take all of the things that you learn from other administrators, but also what you believe in is what's most important. And I think just every day is just waking up and trying to make an impact with my teachers, with my students, promoting them to be the best they can as well. But definitely just waking up and knowing that, I have a grind today. Today, every day is a grind. I appreciate the grind. I love the grind, and it keeps me hungry. It just keeps me hungry to move on to each day and know that, hey, something's going to bring tomorrow that I don't know what it's going to be, but hopefully it's great.
Very good. And waking up and with the thought of how can you make an impact for your students and your teachers is very important. And also having that work ethic, the word grind. One of my mentors is using the word grind for 2021 as this theme. And I'm glad that you have that same mentality and mindset. So very good. The question for you is, what is the most recent book you have read and how is that impacting your actions?
So right now I'm actually reading Extreme Ownership. It's How Navy SEALs Lead and Win by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. It brings that mindset of a Navy SEAL, but a soldier. But most importantly, it talks about ownership. Something that when I came into this profession, is that I don't have all the answers. And if I make a mistake, I'll be the first one to admit it and apologize. And I think with this book is that you're learning ownership, you're learning how to build a team. There's no I in team, and you want to just continue to collaborate. And the most important thing, from this book, and each year as a principal, my emails start off with team. It's not hey, it's not good morning, it's team, because that's what we are. That's what I strive to be here. We all learn from one another, collaborate with one another, and just being together with these great ideas is what makes the teamwork come to be.
Very good. Ownership, uh, taking that responsibility, that is really key in effective leadership. So I'm glad that you're able to bring that out to the audience. So let's hear a little bit more about your journey to Smalley School. I read in your bio and some of the descriptions that after 3 weeks of as a assistant principal, vice principal, you were promoted to that role of a principal of Smalley School. So just tell us a little bit more about that, and also what words of encouragement can you share with any school administrator that has to go through a quick transition?
Yeah, so I was hired Downbrook Smalley School assistant principal in 2018. Um, I taught in Kearney for close to 11 years, and going from a fourth grade teacher or a teacher to an assistant principal, that is the time to learn as an administrator, to learn from the principal, to learn from other colleagues, and just to get a sense of how the day works, how the paperwork works, the ins and the outs, discipline, safety. There's so many things in that criteria. Um, so I went away with my wife Sue, and my parents to Ireland. And when I returned from vacation, I walked into the principal's office, and it was empty. And she was taking another job, and it was more of what happens now? There was other people that you never know if they're going to apply or if it's even going to be sent out. And I had a discussion with the superintendent, and it was a weekend thought process. And I walked in on Monday morning, and my assistant principal was there, Miss Brusha, and I became the principal in 3 weeks. And it was a very humbling, excited, but also nerve-wracking position to be in, because you're the teacher, and now you're the principal, and you're in charge of a school with 500 students and 50 staff members. It's There was a lot of ups and downs. I was confident in myself of how I work with people, and my main goal, it wasn't test scores, it wasn't trying to do everything correct. It was more trying about building relationships and building trust, because I came from a district where no one knew me here. No one knew me. The students didn't know me. The community didn't know me. Teachers. So it was just, there it is. Let's do what we have to do. And I think little by little, building the teachers' trust and respect, walking the halls, checking in on them. My first year was a success. With a lot of things that I had to learn. And each year, I continue each year to learn from my staff and from myself. Um, but we're in a good place now, the school and so forth. So any words of encouragement is that if you have an opportunity, just take it. Um, I didn't think I was ready. And I still, to this day, always think about, what could I have done different my first year? What could I have done different the next year and so forth? So, but I think with this is that I was humbled and an opportunity came and I had to take it no matter what. And I wanted to be strong about it. And, just believe in yourself. Little by little, things will get better. And you have colleagues that you can help with.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for sharing that story. There's a couple of things that you mentioned, especially for new principals going to a building or district, making a transition, starting off by establishing and developing trust and the relationships is really key when you're starting a new role. You can be making a transition from being a teacher into a school leadership position within the same district or going to a new district, but starting off around trust, integrity, and relationship building is really key. Another piece that you mentioned, I just want to highlight, is the fact that when you do have the opportunity, take it, okay? And understand also that you don't have to do it alone. There's other people around you, other administrators within the district. There's other mentors that you have experienced and on your journey to actually get where you are to be able to support you and help you to get there. And what we need is effective, courageous leaders in our schools for the best interests of our students, and be able to take that opportunity with the support of others, you will be successful and believe in yourself. So you made a lot of good points for anyone that's in that situation. So I'm grateful for what you're sharing with the audience at this period of time. When you think about mentorship and also just having a coach in your life, first of all, do you have a mentor that you have in your life right now? And also, what has been one thing that you have learned from your mentor or coach that has impacted your career?
I've had a lot of great mentors, or just people that I've looked up to, coaches. But the biggest mentor that I ever had, and still to this day, is Bob Sprague. He he's like a second father to me. He was the principal at Franklin School in Kearney when I was a teacher. He was also just someone that I looked up to. How he was a principal, how he handled things, how he walked through the halls, how he conducted himself, how he treated staff. He just still to this day, I still reach out to him. If something comes up, I'll try. I have a long ride home, so sometimes I'll pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I got this issue. What do you think about it?" And just pick his brain. He was an educator for 30 plus years, principal, assistant superintendent, amazing baseball coach at Monmouth University. So he's probably the greatest mentor I've had, and still, blessed to keep in contact with him about these progress deals I deal with.
Very good, very good, very good. And that's one thing I really want to reinforce each and every week on the principal's office is about the importance of having a mentor and a coach in your life. You do not have to be in this role and position on an island by yourself. And it's important to really look at other principals who are doing things that you want to do and aspire to do and are farther along the road and journey than you, to be able to connect with them and be able to ask them questions and learn from them, to be able to support you as you're going on this journey. So I'm so glad that you have several mentors and you're able to highlight a key mentor in your life this afternoon. So I know that you've been in this role for a couple of years now, and if I asked you what you had to change from 2 years ago until today, it would have been definitely like this I would say a normal progression. But you have also had this experience of growing over these 2 years, but also leading school in a pandemic,
Mhm.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
So, what have you had to pivot in your leadership and also your direction of your school during this time of the pandemic?
I think the most important thing during this time right now is to have a lot of empathy, sympathy. We really have to look at every child as a whole. Um, you know, every child is different with what they have access to at home. We're very lucky that all of our students have a Chromebook. But we're dealing with students that their parents work all day long. Sometimes they're home alone. Sometimes we have to go to their houses, knock on the door, check in to see if they're okay. Um, so just really looking at the social and emotional learning aspect right now. We're very lucky here in Boundbrook that we have a responsive classroom, which we deal with our morning meeting every day, where teachers, sit with the students. Right now, we're keeping social distancing, but every child has a story each morning. Teaching them right ways to say hello, good morning, um, shake hands when it was time. Now it's arm bumps or just a wave, but just letting them open themselves out of what's going on in their life, or something that they did, or something they would like to do, and keep and teaching that discipline and that gain of trying to do the best they can daily. And that's where I think here is what we're trying to do. We really have to take a step back, push our curriculum, our rigor curriculum, and do the best we can to do it, and push our students. But at the end of the day, we still have to care and love for our students, because that's the most important thing. If they see the trust and the care and the respect and the love that they get, everything else slowly falls into place.
Very good. And the key word that you mentioned is about empathy and really connecting with the students, understanding the challenges that they're having. And even for our teachers and staff members are having some challenges through this time period, but understanding that and really supporting each other during this time period. Social emotional learning and support is really key at this period of time. So very good. So can you please share with the audience? I saw on your school resume and things that you're doing, this first day of school clap-in initiative. Can you just share with the audience what's that all about?
Yeah, so my second year, before the pandemic, you know, Twitter is an amazing thing. You steal things. It's just like coaching. No one comes up with these ideas. You just take from everyone and you use it. Uh, but it makes a great pride, and it makes your school form into a great climate and culture. So I spoke with my staff. There's a lot of contract issues always, being on time. I can only work a certain amount of this time and so forth. But here we try to work with one another, and we have a 90-minute faculty meeting before the school year starts. And I asked them. I said, "Listen, I want to do something special for our students. I think it's a great way to start a school year. I asked them if they would be outside with me. Our music teacher had music going, and I asked them if they would just welcome the students, clapping them in and welcoming them, and they were all on board. So to see that, where contracts always play an issue, but they were willing to, no matter, step up as they always do, line up two lines outside. We had music going, and the kids just walking in, smiling, clapping for them, like welcome. Our doors are open, our arms open, and it was great to see the parents smiling and know that their child is safe coming here. And it was just a very exciting thing. And this year, unfortunately, we couldn't do it because of the pandemic. So I have to try and find some new things for next year, hopefully.
Very good. And it's so glad to hear that you have a staff and team of employees that are working with you that are there for the students. Okay, despite contract language, time, and everything else. But let's do what's right for the students and really encourage them and let them see that we're there to support them on this first day, but every day during the school year. So I'm glad to hear that that is happening within your school building, and you're setting up a very good culture. So let's talk about how you're supporting teachers. And I was reading about this pineapple chart and teacher development in your school. Can you
Mhm.
just share the audience about the pineapple chart?
Sure. So Pineapple Chart, it allows teachers to invite other teachers in for an informal observation, to show them something that they're doing, something fun. It could be any lesson. It could be something new. It could be something like a bio lesson. It could be something science. It could be just a regular plain lesson. So we put a whiteboard up going into the faculty room with the days of the week and the times of the day of our schedule. And teachers put in their initials, what room number in, and a time of what they're doing. And a teacher can, email me, hey, listen, I want to go check out this teacher, this lesson. I'll find coverage for them, or if I can step in, or if my assistant principal can step in, we'll check in for their class. But it gives them another sense of idea or a way to teach a lesson, maybe something that they're doing as well, but just another way to do it. So it just gives them the opportunity to, go into another class informally. You're not there to criticize anyone. You just, hey, this is an idea. I like this. I'm going to write this down, take it, and go with it. So we're trying to push that more right now. Again, with social distancing and the amount of people in the classroom, we're trying to take a step back from it. But it is a useful resource that the teachers can do, and also it builds that trust between one another, that connection. That a third grade teacher can go see a fourth grade teacher, and vice versa. And we have a big school, and so it's tough to get everyone on the same page. So, but it is a great idea. This pineapple chart.
Very good. And what I always try to tell staff members that I was leading in the past, and even for your school building, the answer that we need for some of the problems that we have in our school are in the school. It's just creating those opportunities for the teachers to be able to communicate and talk and share. If there's someone that's looking for a creative idea about how to teach a certain concept, there's someone else in that building that has the answer for them. And I'm glad to hear that you're creating this environment where you're able to share a great opportunity for teachers to go into and learn from other teachers to be able to support one another. So that is another plus and valuable information to share with the audience. So again, I appreciate what you're sharing in terms of your leadership ability and the culture within your school building. Can you please talk about the spring open house, spotlighting the arts teachers?
Yeah, so we have right now, because of the pandemic, we were able to get a couple more teachers in to help our students. We have two art teachers right now. We have a music teacher, world language teacher, and two physical education teachers. So during that spring open house, our music teacher does a tremendous job in the last couple of years of just doing holiday concerts. If it's we have one during the afternoon for the parents, we also have one at night at the high school. Hopefully, we can get back to that one day because it's just a great thing for parents and students. And so he does a concert with our music students. So before the pandemic came, we had about 70 students in our music choir, or taking an instrument in grades 3 through 6. Well, 4 through 6. This year we gained third grade. So we have a lot of students playing the instruments. So he would do a show with them for the parents. We would have an art show. All art display would be around the building, where our art teacher would display it. Parents could walk around, ask questions, take pictures. We have our world language teacher that does a bunch of photo slides of what she does throughout the year. We were in a process of doing a multicultural day or evening for parents last year, but again in May. But again, the pandemic came, so it was good to get the community out and learn from different people about their cultures and so forth. And our physical education and health department, same thing. Slides. We do a mindfulness every single day with our students, about 5 minutes a day, some sort of stretching, yoga, or breathing tactic that could try to help and make our children relax coming into school or ending the day with it. So it was a really great evening. But again, unfortunately, these times we got to do a lot of stuff virtual or come up with different ideas to try to make things a little easier.
Yes. Very good. The benefit of what you're sharing with the audience is that you have these ideas. You've established this foundation. Yes, we do not know exactly what the next 6 months or a year is going to bring in terms of our schools, but you understand how to actually bring our different teachers together and also the community together. And that is key in developing and establishing a positive school culture. And sad to say, sometimes in schools, everyone's focusing on the literacy and English and math, social studies and science, and our arts and special teachers and physical educational teachers are pushed aside. But what I'm hearing from you is that you are setting up these equal stakeholders and the equal importance in the education of the students within your building. So that is definitely good and something that definitely encourage you to continue to do for the best interest of the students. So as I'm looking at some of the work that you were doing, also, you had to solve a problem with the superintendent as well as the police department to improve some safety markings around your school for dismissal and pickup. Can you just explain to the audience a little bit about that initiative and what you had to do? Because I want school leaders to understand that yes, we're there for the academics and culture, but sometimes we have to take a walk and see what's needed out in the community for the best interest of and safety of our students. So can you please share about that journey?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, safety is everything to me. It's something that I learned when I was a supervisor, an assistant director. I have an after-school program and a summer program. It was always just learning. You know, I have to keep children safe. I want children going home to their parents every day. I have a daughter now, so I could see it now as a parent. So, you know, my main initiative here is just walking the building daily, checking in the classrooms, checking in on teachers and students, but also walking outside the building, seeing if something's broken, see if it's something needs fixing. So I did see when I arrived here, dismissal it can be dangerous for many ways. With busing, with students picking up, with parents picking up students, one-way streets, and so forth. So I saw that the painting was very, very limited, of either handicap spots or yellow bus lines where the bus can come up with, having cones set up. So my idea was to meet with the superintendent and say, dismissal can get a little crazy here. We have a lot of students and it's a one-way street during the day. So what could we do? And he set up a meeting with the police chief, and we sat down, brainstormed some ideas to get some new painting done for parents that had a handicap that they could pull up and pick up their child. We had bus lines painted where the bus could just pull right up, so parents knew they couldn't park there. I ordered some large cones to put on the other side, so we wouldn't have double parking. Just to make the flow easier for everyone. Um, and I help out. My teachers help out. Crossing students. Again, we work as a team, but safety is the most important thing, and I had to do something to make it a little bit better.
Very good, very good. And again, I just want to reinforce that for any aspiring school leader, current school leaders, definitely take a look at in terms of how you can continuously improve the safety for your students as they're coming into your school building and also leaving out. And I'm glad that you were able to share that journey with the audience. So I was also looking at some of the notes based on the work that you're doing, and I counted it up about 26 committees for
Mm.
your building as well as for your district level. Just as a administrator, how do you manage all of those meetings and also the demands of be able to be a part of all those committees?
You got to manage yourself. I'm a big person on managing, control managing. So what I like to do in my morning when I get here nice and early, and I have a huge whiteboard in my office, and I write down my daily calendar or my daily agenda, basically. What I like to tell my teachers, give your students a daily agenda. What's going to take place today? So I kind of set up all my times of any meetings that I have. Um, for the full day. I have another section of upcoming events or upcoming dates or guidelines that need to be met. So I could see a visual, and I have it. Your phone. My phone is always programmed. If I have a meeting or if something's coming up, hey, I got 20 minutes to this meeting. Let me get a quick observation in. or just anything that I need to do to plan ahead. Something I like to do weekly now as a district. We send parent newsletters to the parents of anything that's up to date or anything fun that we're doing here. Right now, we're doing a kindness challenge, 14 days for Valentine's Day. Each day is some sort of kindness challenge that our students and teachers are doing. And in a couple more weeks, we'll have our 100th day of school. So to dress down, just try to promote fun climate culture tactics to just make it fun, even for the students at home, to make it equitable for them. Take pictures. You dress down. Halloween. Take pictures. Any holiday. I did a holiday spirit and the 12 days of Christmas videos for the students and questions. So it was getting everyone involved, and that's what I want to. The students send me jokes of the day. We do my announcements. So we do a lot of fun things to keep the students helping us out.
Very good. Very good. Can you share with there's a teacher that is listening to this broadcast and wants to work their way to become a coach within the district. What advice can you share with that teacher to be able to help them get into that type of position?
I think just continue to research, collect data, do a lot of reading, and just form relationships. The key thing that I've always felt with me is that I struggled as a student, and I wasn't the best student. I struggled comprehension when I was younger. I never got straight A's. I was a C student, B student, and that's why I love telling my story, because it's just how I got here is hard work and a lot of great people in my life helping me. So now I'm at a point in my life where what can I do to help someone else? I get excited when student teachers email me, "Hey, can you come observe me?" Some people just, "I'm too busy. I can't do it. I have to observe this teacher." But they want that feedback, and I welcome all of our student teachers as part of our family. We have a couple right now that are long-term subs, which has been incredible. So just trying to learn more, continue to read, continue to pick people's brains, um, and just get that issue. Or when you sit down with that teacher, is that you don't you have some hints that you can give. But building that relationship of being able to speak to people, it goes a long way.
Very good. And you keep going back to that theme about relationships and the importance of it. So that is something that everyone in the audience should definitely hold on to. As I learn more about your journey, you have invested a lot in yourself. You're doing a lot for your students, your teachers, your staff members. But I want to talk now about the Bound Brook School District Food Pantry and how
Mhm.
you're partnering with others to be able to provide the necessary needs for the community of Bound Brook. Can you just share with the audience about that?
Sure. I mean, so since March 13th, the district, we've been providing food to local families in need through donations through our local food bank, district staff, residents in the community, organizations, churches, providing up to almost close to 150 families a week. Um, the district itself, we serve breakfast and lunch to our children every single day, but other families are unable to secure that food and those meals. So, we have a drop off of any donations at the Board of Ed office. It's on 130 West Maple Avenue in Bound Brook, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Any suggestions or any donations we accept, if it's canned foods, hygiene products, diapers, any of this, it's just amazing what this district does for our families and our community. Mrs. Fisher runs it. Our assistant superintendent, she does a great job with it, and she's always working extra hard to go to store to get these things with other teachers and staff members. So it's just a great way to give back to the community of a small, caring knit community.
Very good. Again, this is the Bound Brook School District Food Pantry. And on the screen, scrolling at the bottom, is the email address for the Assistant Superintendent, Beth Fisher. And you can please email her if you would like to make a donation to this great cause to be able to support the families in the Bound Brook School District. Also on the screen, I do have the Twitter account for Principal Nick Edwards at Principal underscore NE. And also, he can be found on LinkedIn. That's where I've been following Principal Edwards in terms of the great work that he's been doing for Smalley School. As we close out this time together, Principal Edwards, can you please take time just to share with the audience? Again, we have some students, teachers, administrators. One piece of advice that you would like to leave the audience with as we close out the show this afternoon.
Just one piece of advice with me that I've always cherished is that you never know a child's life. You never know what hardships they're going through. Teachers as well, and you have that. I find it very personable to try to help as many people as I can in school, but outside of school, to be respectful, to help in any way, holding the door, starting a conversation, all these things of morals and values that I was brought up on. I want to instill it with my students and my teachers, and just continue to help and support them. My goal is to serve children, serve adults. That's why I'm put here, just to continue to help in any way I can on earth. And I'm going to continue it to the day I die and learn a lot on my journey.
Very good. Very good. Well, Principal Edwards, I just want to say thank you for being on the show today. And thank you for modeling excellence for your school community. And for everyone watching, thank you for tuning in to the principal's office. And join us next week for another episode with an amazing educator that has done things significantly for themselves, for others, and with others. Have a great week and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Gordon. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for being here.